Peace and love, everybody. You are here with your girl Coco Kitten Bruja, and I am back with this week's reading. Still trying to revamp the channel, really understanding what works for me, what works for you guys. Excuse me. So any and all feedback in the comments is appreciated. I'm going to give you guys a general reading this week, today, and then see how we feel for the rest of the week on what kind of reading we want to update. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our breath work. You want to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, really inhaling all of those higher vibrating energies, love, peace, opulence, all of the things that we want, right? And we're going to hold that for 3 seconds, get our solar plexus nice and tight, and then exhale through the mouth all of our lower vibrating energies, negativity, imposter syndrome, fear, doubt, lack, all of that stuff. Let it out through the mouth, okay? So you guys can do that while I am shuffling. And we'll go from there. All right. Let's see what Spirit has to say, guys. We have any jumpers today, Spirit? I'm seeing car trouble this week for some of you. Make sure you guys are getting your oil changes, checking your brakes. Earth signs. This is a significant week for you. Now, I'm not an astrology girl, by no means. But for my earth signs, we need to check and see what's going on with the planets and stars this week. This week feels very significant for us. The number 43 keeps sticking out. All right, no jumpers, let's go. We have the High Priestess. The Two of Wands in reverse. The Page of Cups. The Devil in reverse. And the 8 of Coins in reverse. Bottom of the deck being the Knight of Cups. So last week we talked about a lot of new perspective, self-reflection, going within, loving ourselves more, all of that fun stuff. This week, we're going to talk about habits and accountability, right? I feel like that is going to be a strong suit for us this week when we talk about this lacking strategy, unhealthy patterns, seeing the same things over and over again. I want you guys to pay attention to this 8 of Coins in reverse. It's talking about scattered, boring, complacent. Don't get stuck in a rut this week. I know it's very easy to do so. You know, you wake up, go to work, come home. Wake up, go to work, come home. But Spirit is asking you to really start to look at what you're doing with your time, right? How can you better manage your time to give back to you? And not to piggyback off of last week, but at the same time, I think I mentioned having a 5-year plan or something like that last week. What can you start doing today? Something very small that could help you create a space of having more freedom to hone in on you, right? To where you're not stuck in this rut of day in, day out. It's the same things over and over and over and over again. How can you break this unhealthy pattern? And it may not even be wake up, go to work, come home. It could be a pattern of unhealthy behaviors, spending too much time doing something as opposed to working, or unhealthy eating habits, different things like that. Spirit is asking us to really take a look at how we spend our time, and see what's healthy, see what's not. How can we strategize, whether that's manifestation, whether that's meditating more? What can we do this week to give us more time to do things that push us forward? And please don't mistake what I'm saying for like hustle culture, anything like that. I am talking about how can we become our highest selves by restructuring the way that we spend our day. I'm not telling you to get up and go get this bread. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about how we can be better versions of us through small changes in our habits, right? Coming up with a strategy that works for us. And please believe this is the hashtag self-drag. I am feeling it heavy. I would normally, have kids go to school. I would come back home and I would sleep, right? And then I would get up and then go to work. And Spirit kept telling me, if you want more, you have to do more. And I decided to start using my mornings to get these readings to you guys, right? Getting back into the swing of things, getting back into the swing of who I am, and my purpose, which is service, right? So I'm getting up and I'm working towards my purpose. 30 minutes a day, and then I can still go ahead, take some time to rest before work, right? What can you do, whether it be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, if you have that kind of time? What can you do this week to kind of get you back on track with your purpose? If you don't know what your purpose is, what can you do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 30 minutes, whatever, to help you find that purpose, right? I really feel like this week is a deeper dive of last week. Last week was very, hey, you need to take some time for yourself. Now Spirit is like, if you're going to take this time for yourself, what can you do with that time for yourself in order to tap into your highest self, right? Let's take it a step further. Bottom of the deck. So that was just to talk about these 3 cards. When we talk about the High Priestess, the Page of Cups, and then the bottom of the deck being the Knight of Cups, it's when you take this time to say, okay, what's the next step? Do you start to understand? And I love these cards because it actually says it here, that diving deep, that divine wisdom, sacred wisdom, right? When you start to really hone in on, okay, I have 5 minutes to meditate, or I have 5 minutes to work on my 5-year plan. I have 5 minutes to do this. I have 10 minutes to do that. It's when you start to make these small changes that you start to shift not only your mindset, but you start to shift your reality. And it's having that tapping into that High Priestess energy. And please understand that energy knows no gender. It says High Priestess. This is just talking about divine feminine energy. Anybody can have, all of us have divine feminine energy. And sometimes you need to tap into that in order to make certain shit happen. Okay, just want to throw that out there. But it's as you start to work on these strategies, as you start to bring more time into you, that divine feminine energy, that sacred wisdom, that deep knowing starts to present itself in your everyday life. And you start to see your reality shift and change to where this Page of Cups just makes sense. Yes, good things are on the way. Yes, I'm going to come in with great communication. And I feel like the Page of Cups and the High Priestess are working in tandem right now. Page of Cups is, somebody who's young, idealistic, very charismatic when we talking about a person. When we talk about energy and really what the Page of Cups brings, It's all about a new sense of acceptance, a new sense of communication, and really just bringing in a lot of good news, good favor, right? And I feel like as you shift your reality, making these small changes this week, you can start to see that and you can start to feel that. Now, is it going to be life-changing if you spend 5 minutes a day doing something for 7 days? It's possible, but everything has a journey. So allow yourself the journey by having these 5-10 minute moments with yourself. Give it 21 days and see what happens, right? Bottom of the deck being the Knight of Cups. You just start to move different. You can tap into your Knight of Cups energy and be charming and charismatic because you're in a better mood, because you're starting to see your reality shift and change in the way that works for you, right? Let's pull an oracle. Well, we got our 3. 5. Okay. So we have Sapphire. We have Person of Water, Changing, Spoiled Milk, and Flag. So when we talk about Sapphire, and that's great because it's on top of the High Priestess, it's about spiritual insight, mental force, really tapping in again to that divine sacred wisdom, right? It's when you do that that you start to see things change. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. Hopefully you guys can see that a little bit better. When we talk about the Two of Wands, we have the Person of Water. It says emotionally connected, psychic empath. Now, the Two of Wands is about strategy. So for those of you who may be like, okay, so what exactly can I do? There's different routes you can take based on this oracle card. You can actually, if there's a water sign that you trust enough to have the knowledge that you need, reach out to them. See how they feel, what suggestions they have. Or take this more on an energetic level. What are the properties of water that can help you, right? Being fluid, going with the flow, understand the ebb and flow of water, and being okay with riding the wave, understanding that the answer may not come to you how you want it. You may not have the control over the answer, but that you can just have faith that the answer is on the way, right? Now, when we talk about the Page of Cups, we have the Changing card. It says, at this time, the situation is in a state of flux. Anything can happen. And it all depends on you. How much time and energy do you want to put into shifting your reality? This is going to be ever-changing. That Page of Cups, even the Knight of Cups, that energy is going to be ever-changing because it depends on you. It depends on how you want to move and how you want to really show up for yourself, right? Now, we have the unhealthy patterns. We have spoiled milk, regret, accidents happen. Don't sweat the small stuff. I love this because it's basically saying, hey, don't cry over spilled milk. If you sit with yourself and realize that you have been having some very unhealthy habits, don't get depressed about it. Don't sulk. Don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge, strategize, and execute. Acknowledge the behavior, right? And then strategize on what you can do to stop the behavior, and then execute that strategy. Simple as that. Don't cry over spilled milk. What happened in the past cannot be changed. It happened. Yes, you spent the week eating hot Cheetos all day, and now you don't feel so good. You acknowledge the behavior. Now let's strategize on better foods to eat and then execute by going to go get those foods, right? That I love the fact that spoiled milk came out on top of the devil, because you shouldn't beat yourself up. I'm so sorry, guys. I've had sinus issues all weekend. So we go to the last card, which is flag. And I feel like with it being over the 8 of coins, the 8 of coins upright is about self-mastery, right? And this card itself is all about mastery, achievements, recognitions, right? When you are in a rut, when you are feeling like things are very repetitious, you're just doing the same things over and over and over again, sometimes it can take just a little bit of recognition to kind of snap you out of it. To say, hey, you know what? I am doing a damn good job. I am doing what I need to do. And I feel like some of you are going to get that. But at the same time, taking a moment to recognize somebody else can also put things in perspective for you. So if you don't do anything else this week outside of doing something for yourself, as far as making time to strategize a better way to tap into your higher self, take some time to recognize somebody else. Maybe there's somebody else who's already doing it, and you can see the results from their hard work. Say, hey, you know what? I am so proud of you and all of the shit that you've been doing to make yourself better, to make your life better. I see you. Because that also lets spirit know that you can recognize what that looks like. And you'll be able to recognize it in yourself, right? Bottom of the deck is telephone. Communicator, conversations, getting through, reaching out, throat chakra, inner voice. This is just a nod to say, hey, you got to do the work. It's all internal. You got to do it. Communicate with self, communicate with others. It's all connected. We're all connected. We're all one. You can't have one without the other, right? So that's what I have this week. I want you guys to take this energy, not just for Monday, but through the rest of the week. We're going to see what readings we're going to do tomorrow. But this is going to be your general weekly reading. I am rooting for you guys, excuse me. I love you, sending you tons and tons of love and light. And until next time, peace.